Mm-hmm.
All right, all right, all right.
Hello, America.
What's going on, guys?
There we go. See,
Hey, Al, how you doing, buddy?
Allie, how we doing?
Nice hat.
Yeah,
Thank you. They won yesterday, so I had to wear it.
Oh.
Allie, we were at the Vineyard the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and evidently
Wait.
Monday night.
I would say specific. Were you there on Sunday or after Sunday or
I
before
was.
Sunday?
I was there Sunday and Monday.
I was not there Sunday, but I was there Monday, and evidently you were so exhausted you had to leave. You didn't even say hi, bye, or anything.
I literally just left. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Just walked out.
I had enough. I had school stuff I had to do, and my brain could not process anything else that day. So I just said, I'm out of here.
Well, good for you for stepping away when you need to.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
gotta know how. You
Yeah.
gotta know when to. You gotta know when to hold them, and you gotta know when to fold them. Yeah.
Or you gotta know when to walk away.
Yeah. Just gotta know when to walk away.
Or even when to
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what? But you never count your money when you're sitting at the table.
Don't do that.
Yeah. So a couple of things for you, just to let you guys know. First of all, blue shirt today. What do you think of blue shirt?
That looks nice on you. It makes your eyes pop.
You know, that's exactly you're like the fifth person today that has told me, even use those words. That shirt really makes your eyes
You know
pop.
who would really dig that shirt on you?
Who's that?
Is that lady that hit on you at the Paradise Bar.
The Paradise Grill. Yeah, on my birthday last year.
2 years.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Still remember like yesterday.
It was like yesterday.
Yeah, it was. There's some things that are burned in your brain you can never go
Etched in my memory.
etched. Yeah. And so if she is a listener, if she's an avid listener, keep your clothes on and keep your clothes on. Try to drink less.
Keep your clothes on and your ears open.
Yes. And there you go. And so my wife still hasn't gotten over it. I had a couple of things to talk to you about today.
Okay.
Before we get to you, maybe Allie might have heard of some of these because I think that some might be close to where, let's say, El Grotto works or something.
Uh-huh.
But first, okay, these are some police questions about.
Oh.
Okay. I don't know if you knew this, but earlier this week, the town of Bethany named a new police chief.
Oh, really?
Did you know that?
I didn't get the email.
You didn't? It wasn't you? You did? I didn't think you. I thought you were done with that.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was the police officer in charge.
Oh, good.
Okay.
They stayed in house.
Yeah. And so then he was promoted to the police chief. And evidently, did you know why they were looking for a new one?
Yes.
Because I think there were a couple of guys that held the position, the captain and the police chief. I think there was some investigating going on about some grant money that was misappropriated. Do you know anything about this?
Let me tell you what scenario.
Hold on. I think that we might have struck a nerve.
Scenario.
Go ahead.
Okay. One of the easiest ways to get yourself in trouble.
Yeah.
In that field is the misappropriation of federal grants.
Yeah. Don't want to do that.
That is a very loose term.
Yeah.
The appropriation of those funds generally is not. I'll give you the scenario that probably happened. I've seen happen is that those funds are used for something else that's not specifically mentioned in the grant, but still within the guise of law enforcement or within the guise of that police department.
Yeah, because the reason I brought it up is because I know in your previous work, there were certain things like you might had some funds that were set aside that could be used for blank, maybe no overtime, nothing like that. Right. And somebody used those funds maybe for overtime. Well, that becomes misappropriation of funds.
Or for the wrong overtime.
Right. And so there's so many details. So what looks like something that took place with a bad police officer is probably not as bad as what it's on print.
It's not when it's a term.
He didn't buy a boat.
Yeah, he didn't put it in his pocket.
Yeah, he didn't buy a boat.
Put it in their pocket. But let's say you get a federal grant, and I might know about this.
Yeah.
To work overtime in a certain area.
Yeah.
If you're with a smaller department and where funding and payroll is an issue, let's say you pay that overtime out of money you already have in hand, and when that grant comes through, you use money that maybe was stipend for police, new cars or new personnel, and you move that grant money over there. So there's a real misconception about receiving the money into your bank account, let's say, for lack of a better description, and then how you dispense it from that. So let's say a agency gets $100,000 to use for overtime in an area. Well, if they spend $100,000 over there and they get it from somewhere else, what's wrong with taking that grant money and putting it back into your budget and appropriating it somewhere else? You know what I'm saying? It's like a mislabeling more than it is a mishandling. That's a very broad term. You have to be very, very careful when you throw that accusation around. What I think happened here is powers that be use it as a vehicle to facilitate the egress of people that were not necessarily wanted it.
Right. So here's the reason I bring that up, because I noticed I think you mentioned our local newspaper, Coastal Point, before we started recording. And what I would say is that I think the town of Bethany might get a bad rap. Like, look at those, corrupt police officers, that two of them, and got there somebody else. The only thing I would say is I'm not sure that it's good to jump to those conclusions, because I don't know if you think we know all the details, but I do want to wish the new guy good luck on his new job.
And I'm gonna tell you, I briefly met the other guy, the outgoing chief. Yeah, and he's a good dude.
Yeah,
he's a good dude.
Yeah, I think he was at an event where we were. Yeah, there we go.
He's a good guy.
All right, so that's a good deal. Bethany, new police officer. Allie, drive slow. All right, because the Bethany police, I mean, first of all, they stay right up there near the fire department. Drive slow, and they're here it's getting to be busy, and they don't take any crap. And so I know two of my friends. Well, I know two of my friends that might be married, okay, that in the past week, both of them have been pulled over. And one of them, who was a male, got a ticket, and the female did not get a ticket.
It's hard to write ladies' tickets.
Okay. And I think
that is not true. Do you know how many tickets I had?
It is hard.
Okay. So it might be the way you roll your window down. All right. That's all I'm telling you. But what I would say is that I think they might be listening, so they might listen to us. All right, the second thing for you happened this week. I'm not sure if you knew about this, and as a public service announcement, I'm going to say to all our Fung and Shway audience, this is not allowed. It's frowned upon. Okay, just want to let you know. Did y'all hear about the bomb threat at Planet Fitness in Milford?
No.
Okay, so evidently some people were disgruntled about Planet Fitness in Little Milford and put a bomb threat at Planet Fitness because they don't know.
Disgruntled about what? About
their bathroom policy.
Policy?
Yeah. I mean, and so I just think that a bomb is not the way to handle.
It's a felony.
Yeah. And it's just not the way to handle things. Yeah.
It's a felony.
No, it's not okay.
So to our Fung and Shway listeners, no.
Just because you're frustrated.
Yeah.
Don't call in a bomb threat.
Don't. I think that they basically, I mean, everybody shows up whenever there's a bomb threat. I think that if you want to actually if you dial 911 and want to get there fast, I think that
so for a long time, our policy in my previous employer was if you're dispatched to a bomb threat, that when you get within 300 feet of it, you were to turn off your radio.
Yeah, because you don't want to.
Because you didn't want to emit signals that could necessarily detonate a device.
Yeah.
That policy stayed in effect for a long time, including when people started carrying these.
Yeah, it does the same thing.
In their pockets.
Yeah. All right. So Fung and Shway audience, just want to let you know in case y'all don't think anything goes on the Eastern Shore. Just want to let you know.
Look, I'm going to tell you a little funny too, since you brought it up. Did you hear about the car chase that started in Bethany not too long ago?
No. High speed
chase. This is funny that this even makes the news around here, because where I used to be, high speed chase now never made the news because there were so many of them on a given moment.
Yeah.
But four Utes.
Yeah. What's a Ute?
Did you say
Ute? Did you say Ute? You know where he was from? He was from Tawnytown, Maryland.
Herman Munster's from
Munster was from Tawnytown.
Yeah.
He also played the judge in My Cousin Vinny.
Yeah. So what about this high-speed chase in Bethany?
I'm sorry. So, God forbid, I basically gives some information.
Segue.
Yeah, thanks, asset.
Put you back on point.
Yeah, thanks for the direction.
So a traffic stop was initiated in Bethany. That's why I brought it.
Yeah.
And they said, no, we ain't stopping. Punched it. High-speed pursuit up Coastal Highway. up into, they eventually crashed and bailed out in Rehoboth.
Really?
Yeah. Delaware State Police got involved. A couple of the towns between here and there got involved. They crashed and bailed out in Rehoboth. And one of the local PD helicopters had them the whole time. And all 4 of them were apprehended at one of the hotel motels up in Rehoboth.
They were all at Starboard.
But they just borrowed a car. they just borrowed a car from somebody in Dover without their permission.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
I used to love chasing cars, bro.
A
lot of fun.
Before we get into because I know that you were going to basically talk about something. Before we get into something right now, I should actually, we should have a commercial or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should pause for a commercial.
Let's do it.
All right, so let's pause. We'll be right back. We're back. That was pretty cool. Just want to let you know that I don't know if you basically saw our sponsor for last week. If you paid attention to that sponsor, Sig Sauer was last week with their what's the gun? I mean, it's not this week, but
P365.
Yes, they basically talk about that big Sig Sauer.
It's a 9mm. Nice gun.
Yeah, there we go.
It rivals a Glock 43.
Yep. Also want to throw this thing out before we get to there is I think we're being requested in the next couple of weeks, maybe sooner than that. Who knows? But there's another podcast. I don't even want to call it our sister podcast. It's our cousin podcast.
Okay.
Okay. And so it's Bolt and Hose, in case you don't really know it. Custom bolts.
I've heard of them.
Yeah. And they're out of Humble, Texas. In their front office, they have the largest hex nut in the world. Okay.
Shouldn't they have 2 nuts?
You would think.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So they would like to actually do a joint podcast with us talking about the Elon Musk book because they read it. And so we'll be discussing that about Elon Musk.
Cool.
So that'll be coming up. Joint podcast with Bolts and Hose, Bryce and Chris. One of the guys looks like me.
Taking it up a notch.
Yeah, we're basically gonna do that.
That's
Maybe
cool.
Coming soon.
That's cool.
To a podcast near you. So, yep, there we go. They just went to a place out in Arizona and they rented a car. They rented the Red Eye Hellcat Dodge Charger.
Yeah.
Okay. And whenever they picked it up at the airport to get in it, they decided it really didn't have that much power. So they had to go onto their phone and they gave it a Goog and found out did you just roll your eyes? Gave it a Goog? Okay, so for our older audience, that means they Googled it.
Yeah, give it a Goog.
Yeah, give it a Goog. And so what they did was they found out that the Red Eye Hellcat has actually 2 keys. It has the black key and the red key.
So the rental agency's only giving out the slow key.
Yeah. So what they did is they called and said, how much it costs to get the red key? And the guy said, well, that's another $100 a day. And he said, where do I pick it up?
Right.
And so they went and got it. And I was told it's the fastest car that either one of them have ever been in. 800 and something horsepower.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you do with that? You don't drive through Bethany. Guarantee you that.
You go fast.
Yeah. Go fast. All right. But that'll be coming up soon.
Cool.
But before we get to Allie, because there were some questions I was going to throw back at Allie as far as what's coming up. But before we get to that, I know you had some things you want to discuss about what was going on in our area.
So not a lot of big news going on in the Coastal Point.
It's slow before the summer, the slower lower.
Yes.
It's okay. I have some news for you.
Lay it on us, sister. You go.
Okay. Did
Go
you
ahead.
know that Sean El Grotto is a hero?
No way.
Yes, he served our country.
Well,
Yeah, he was.
yes,
He was in the Navy.
yes.
Wasn't he like a fighter
So-
pilot?
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely. No.
And he got sick and tired of that because he was afraid of heights. And I thought he ran a nuclear sub.
Bingo.
That's what he did.
Bingo. But anyway, so today he was a hero at work today.
No
At work.
way.
So
There was a
Yes,
shortage on pepperonis.
shortage on pepperoni.
I
So
think she's
no.
got something serious. What's up?
Go ahead. What happened?
So today he called me and he goes, "Guess what just happened?" And I said, "What? What just happened?" He said, "I was outside and there was a mother goose with her little ducklings." I said, "Okay, where's this going?" And he said, "I saw like 3 or 4 of them, and then I turned around and I didn't see any of them." And I said, "Well, what happened?" They fell down the storm drain behind the Grotto Pizza in Millsboro, and
Yes.
Sean had the Millsboro Police Department at Millsboro to rescue 12 little ducklings from the storm drain.
First, they're not ducklings.
Was it geese or ducks?
It's geese, right?
Oh, okay. Well, the geese, they were okay. They're little baby geese.
Goslings.
Goslings. Like,
Gosh,
yeah.
they're very, very little.
You know, for the person who does the word of the week, you should be better on your vocabulary.
Yeah, the little ducks.
They were little ducklings. They're
One was
little,
a swan.
at least I didn't call them little chicks, little chickadees.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I like chicks.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So he,
I'm gonna bring that up.
so
Hold on.
he called animal control. He called the Millsboro PD. He called every department he could think of, and they got a whole bunch of. There was a couple cop cars. There's people down storm drains. It was. He rescued.
Slower.
Yeah, we're talking about police things. If next thing you know, half of all of the first responders are in front of Lowe's parking lot rescuing geese. On a brighter note, El Grotto Pizza is having a special on goose barbecue pizza.
Yeah. Goose top.
Yeah, goose topping pizza. And so there we go.
He is a hero, damn it. He is a
there
hero.
There we go. How does it feel to be married to such a hero?
I can never live up to him.
I'm telling you, that's something else. He's something else. There we go.
1 out of 12. 1 out of 12. Respond to the Millsboro Grotto Pizza for the stranded goslings.
I'm sorry, what do they look like? They look like
1
little
out of 12.
ducks.
1 out of 12. I'm direct and en route.
Yes, there you go.
And little baby ducks. He rescued
Yeah.
a whole family, okay?
So you know,
A
you
whole
always
family.
see video of those little geese falling down storm drain.
Oh, yeah.
That's like they're the stupidest things in the world.
Well, I think you're interfering with Darwinism.
Okay. Yeah. There we go. All right, Mike. Here we go. That's some news right there. But
Yeah.
what do you got?
So, sticking with Coastal Point, our news source for the local area, there's a story about they're doing a study on the North Bethany bicycle corridor.
Really?
Yes. So, I don't know how you feel about this.
Okay, go ahead, because I do have feelings,
Okay.
strong feelings.
So, people who are bicycling up and down Route 1,
Yeah.
it's a big shoulder road. Go for it.
Yep.
I think it's great.
There's bike lanes there.
Yes, you can go all the way from the inlet in Ocean City all the way up to,
All the way to Rehoboth.
New Jersey.
Yeah, you can go. Well, you got to stop there at the Delaware Bay.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What I think happens is
Yeah.
people come down, especially Googans,
Yeah.
start getting infiltrated with the Googans. The Googans show up and they want to do their bicycling all over the place.
Yeah.
And they're on these backcountry roads.
There's not a lot of
Listen,
room.
man, you're on Kent Avenue.
Yeah.
Or you're on even Double Bridges Road, even Central Avenue. There is no room along those stretches for people on bicycles. As the population around here is booming, somebody's going to get run over, and it already has happened, frequently.
Yep.
But more and more people showing up riding their bikes.
It happens every year.
Yeah. If you want to ride your bike, stay out on Route 1. I don't
Every
care
year.
if you have to drive somewhere and park, leave your car to get on your bike and do it.
There's a lot of good trails around.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be on the back roads. But you know that they do the Bay to Beach bicycle path goes over here in front of our house where there's no bike path.
Right.
And you basically have hundreds of people there. And it's biking time.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's in a couple weeks, just so you know.
Yeah. Yep.
The
So it
Ocean
is?
to Bay tour, that's in a couple weeks.
Really?
Basically, what I'm saying is, if there's
Yeah.
if somebody doing the study is listening, I say no more bicycles on these back roads. Keep them out on Route 1.
Oh, there we go. I like that.
As far
Even
as far as
54.
I'm concerned, if you bike on a road that doesn't have a bike lane, you're taking your own life in your own hands.
And I get it that by law, the bicycle is to be considered a vehicle. But man, that doesn't, that's why they call it accidents. And if you're a bicycle up against a car, you're going to lose.
It's not really on purposes. It's accident.
Yeah, 10 times out of 10.
Well, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
don't go into downtown Bethany on a Sunday morning, because that's the worst thing you could ever do in your entire life, because
Well,
there's
I heard
bicyclists.
this past week,
There's-
I heard a very authoritative person say this thing, and I don't know if it worked in his circumstance, but I'm going to basically say it on 2 occasions on our podcast. The bombs at the Planet Fitness, and also biking on back roads. Just don't do it, man. Yeah.
Oh God, are you taking his our fearless leader's new campaign
Yeah.
slogan, or his
Just don't do
his
it, man.
defense
Don't.
strategy?
Don't.
No,
Don't.
it's don't.
Don't.
And it's
Don't.
not hyperbole.
Yeah, don't.
That's not hyperbole.
Okay,
Just
so in
don't.
case you're wondering,
Oh, yeah, look,
Go ahead.
we're crossing over into numbnuts.
we definitely
This
went there.
man obviously has lived the most colorful life out of any 10 people
Seriously.
combined.
Yeah.
Case in point, he stands in front of a crowd of people talking about his uncle who was shot down during World War II.
They was eaten by cannibals.
And he immediately makes the assumption that because he was shot down over a jungle, in New Guinea?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and that they had indigenous population who were believed to be cannibals. He makes the assumption to tell people that his family believes that Uncle
Ozzy or whatever.
Fozzie,
Yeah.
that he survived the shooting of the plane.
Yeah.
He survived the crashing of the plane into the jungle. But once he did that, he was captured by cannibals and consumed.
That's where I go.
The man lives in a different stratosphere.
Yes.
Like I was gonna say he's not on hallucinogenics, but he sure seems like it sometimes.
I believe that there are any of our listeners that do listen and plan on voting that direction. I think they should call it. I'd like to talk with them.
I'd like to know what the hell they're thinking.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they could use this time to convince us.
Look, here's a good slogan
Go ahead.
that I've heard from a very famous radio personality,
Go ahead.
where he said, and I won't use that. He says, one side of the political aspect doesn't have all the answers, but they have some of them.
Yeah.
The other side of the political spectrum has none of the answers.
Yeah. Yes, I agree.
Yeah. And you can figure out which one I'm talking about out there, America.
There we go, America. So one last thing before I get to Allie with her word of the week, because hopefully you got one. Look at her eyes. She said, let me look. Okay. So as you know, one of my goals this year is a biography or an autobiography every month. I'm basically reading a book on one.
Yeah.
So we went through Elon Musk. We went through
Winston Churchill.
went through Winston Churchill,
Yeah.
Stephen F. Austin, bunch of people. Go ahead.
The Bionic Man.
Yeah, the Bionic Man, Stephen F. Austin.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Summers' his husband. Yeah. Okay, so went through him, and I also have done a couple
I'm
more.
Tell you something right now.
Yeah,
It's Jamie Summers.
yeah, Jamie Lee Summers.
No,
It's not the same one.
Jamie Lee
Yeah,
is an adult actress somewhere, and you just dropped a huge Freudian
slip.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not Steve Austin's.
Yeah.
Anyway, Stephen F. Austin.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Thank you.
And Sam Houston was another one.
Yeah.
I'm currently listening to one of my ancestors because I have found out that I'm actually a descendant of this man. I'm listening to his autobiography. Okay. And I have found out a little bit about him.
Who is it?
Napoleon Bonaparte.
Bonaparte.
Yep.
Not Napoleon McCallum, the football
Yeah.
player.
Napoleon.
There's
I am a descendant of Napoleon. Not what really? That would look like a Trish look like
That
saying,
was.
are you?
I
though?"
need the receipt.
Okay, well, the bottom line
I
is
need the
here's the
receipt.
thing.
That's
He
what
was
I need.
married to Josephine. Okay. He was married to Josephine.
Yeah.
He ended up getting a divorce from Josephine,
Yes.
but he found out that she was
Yes.
running around on him and he had 21 mistresses. And one of the mistresses that he was basically around was from the area where my family originated in France, in Bordeaux, France. And so, therefore, until someone can prove it different,
2 + 2 = 4 out.
there you go. It's circumstantial evidence that Napoleon is my ancestor.
Right. What else did you find out about Napoleon that was shocking?
Which were a bunch of things. One, I can't say
that he's not French.
Oh, that he's not French. He actually was born in Italy. His family was from Italy, and
he was born in Corsica.
Yeah, well, yeah, that was the island. Look at Allie there, Corsica. There we go.
Word of the week, flexing.
Yeah, there we go. Also, just want to let our Fung and Shway audience know something. Y'all should look this up. You should give it a goog if you want to.
Give it
all right.
A goog.
I don't want to give anything a goog.
I'm going to throw this out there because it was shocking to me, and I'm just going to leave it there. Don't need to go into it. Okay. But I will let y'all know that Josephine was married twice before she married Napoleon.
No kids.
And she later got divorced from Napoleon.
Yeah.
Okay. So did you know all this, Allie? Really?
Why would you know all this?
So one of Josephine's husband, Josephine said she was in prison with one of her husbands. Did you know that?
Yes,
and
I did know
he was
that.
guillotined, and she was almost going to be guillotined, but she was too sick to be guillotined.
Yeah.
Okay.
Her and Napoleon got divorced because she couldn't produce an heir for him.
That's correct. And she actually told him she was pregnant, and he kept inviting her to come to the battlefield while he was in Italy, fighting in Italy, and she never showed up. But interesting thing
because
for you.
Napoleon.
Look at Allie.
She's cracking on you.
Yeah.
She's cracking on your great.
So she's going to know what I'm going to bring up in a couple of minutes, though. But here's the deal. Did you know that while she was in prison, it was illegal to guillotine a pregnant female while they were in prison?
I did not know that, but that makes sense. I get that.
So here's the thing they said. If you were a female in prison, pretty much your goal was to sleep with any of the guards of anything that were there to see if you get pregnant. It has saved your life. So anyway,
I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
What's your options? So here's the deal. Here's the thing for you. Fung and Shway audience, y'all should look this up. I'm just the messenger. Don't shoot me. Allie, you might know about this. Josephine was famous for something, okay, outside of being Napoleon's wife, and it drove him crazy. But she was famous for something called zigzagging. Have you ever heard of that, Allie?
Awesome.
Good job. All right, so Fung and Shway audience, you should look at it. I'm not going any farther than that right there. All right, so Fung and Shway audience, y'all should look that up. That's my word of the week, zigzagging, Josephine. All right, so Allie, what you got for us?
Zigzagging.
I'm going to try to spell it with my pen.
Foolhardy.
Who? What? Foolhardy? Is that what you said?
Foolhardy.
That's my middle name.
Yeah.
That's pretty much if you are a country western singer, if you're a country western person, and you're looking and you're basically going to say, I want to talk about, hey, you didn't stay in the truck, just stay in the truck. Ain't that party or hardy?
It's hardy.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going foolhardy right here.
Bingo.
I'm going to go Fullhardi.
I think that foolhardy is not spelled correctly by Doug. So I think
Hardy.
He also
it's FOOL.
Woke up on the wrong side of the truck.
Fool.
That's right.
This morning.
Foolhardy. Maybe it wasn't pronounced right.
FOOL.
Full. Well, okay, there is a little bit of a drag on the internet connection. Just a little
I know,
bit.
and we're getting ready to run out of time in 9 minutes and 50 seconds.
Okay, well, foolhardy is FOOLHARDY. Why?
What does it mean, Michael?
I think it's like haphazard and careless.
Yeah. Marked by defiant disregard for danger or consequence.
That's me living on the edge. I'm foolhardy.
La vida loca.
That's right.
So that's very Morgan Wallen-esque.
Yeah, like throwing a chair at the police from 6 stories up.
Funny story.
Quite foolhardy.
Somebody called me this past week, and I pulled a Mike Lettieri. Okay, they called me. My phone rings. I answered the phone. I didn't know the number, and the lady said, "Hello, is this Doug?" And I said, I really can't answer that question because I'm in witness protection.
Yeah.
And she said, well, this is such and such from a software company. I said, where are you located and how'd you get my number? And she said, well, we're located from Nashville, Tennessee. And I got your number. I said, don't tell me. Is it the guy that I'm testifying against is basically giving my number out? And she said, excuse me? I said, never mind. What do you want to talk about? So she tells me, and I said, all right, it's nice talking with you. I'm going to let you go. By the way, can you do me a favor and keep that guy from throwing the chair off the top of Chiefs down there at Nashville? And she didn't know what I was talking about. You know what that told me? She said, I don't know what you're talking about. I said, you're not in Nashville.
Nope.
She said, what do you mean? I said, you're not in Nashville. You're telling me you're in Nashville.
Don't know that.
And she said, well, you're right. The company I work for is in Nashville. I'm from Louisiana. I said, really? Are you sure you're from Louisiana? And she said, yep. And I said, where? She said, New Orleans. So then I asked her 3 questions about New Orleans. She didn't know. I said, you're not from New Orleans. This is something to do with witness protection. And I'm hanging up right now.
You kept going with this.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the government tracking you down.
That's right. That's what happens when you give them your number.
Yeah, that's the government.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you've learned a lot this week. You want to sum up with what we've done? What we talked about?
We talked about a lot of nonsense.
Yep. Police.
There's not a whole lot of news going on.
We talked about police.
Yep. I like the way you say that.
Yep.
Bikers.
We talked about bomb threats. We talked about bikers, superstar, rock star, Sean rescuing
the ducks.
Yeah, the ducks.
Foolhardiness.
Yeah. Foolhardiness. Also, we're going to let our Fung and Shway audience know that if you're interested coming up in Fenwick Island, they're having a clean the beach at Fenwick Island. So look it up on Fenwick Island's website. You can sign up there and go clean the beach before the summer starts.
That's cool.
Yep. Boats in the water. Salted Vines is getting up and running.
A lot of good driftwood on the beach right
now.
Yeah,
There's a lot of stuff.
If you look at a lot of good driftwood chunks.
Yep.
Nice.
Allie, a lot of good things happening at Salted Vines.
Yeah, so we have recovered from our Slower Delaware Festival.
That's a good call.
And we are, I'm looking at my calendar now.
Looks like you're looking at God. Looks like you're looking up at God.
We've got a couple of weeks of just, relaxing, same old, but starting in May, we'll be open. May 7th will be our first Tuesday open again. So we'll be open 7 days a week starting in May. And then we have a sip and shop on May 5th. So that should be our first real sip and shop of the year. That's exciting. And then
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we got some good stuff, some crafty things, and then we're just getting ready for Memorial Day because that is quickly approaching.
Well, we want to give a shout out to Bonnie, who paid attention to last week's word and knew last week's word.
We owe her a discount.
We owe her a discounted glass of wine. Okay.
Okay.
Our Fung and Shway bingo audience that listens to us. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Awesome.
You weren't there this past Monday because you were exhausted, but Robert won. So Robert,
good.
Well, we should come up with a name of him, the librarian or something. He's always reading a book.
What do you think he was in his previous life?
CIA is what I'm thinking.
Bingo, that's Robert.
Easily.
Yeah. And so Robert won. Bonnie, shout out to Bonnie, Sam, Barbara, they were there.
Mary Jane won on our birthday.
Yeah, Mary Jane won on her birthday. And also we missed Randy. Randy wasn't there. Yeah. So.
Oh, okay.
So there we go. And shout out to Robin, one-armed Robin, which is Batman's her right hand, and her arm's out of the sling.
I was wondering where the hell did it come from?
Look, she hurt herself pretty bad. She was doing jumps on a bench in the weight room.
Yeah.
And she missed the bench.
Is that how she got hurt?
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, she missed the bench. So
she is something else, that Robin.
I think she's great.
She is good.
Yep. There we go. So I guess that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I got, bro.
Yep. It's been another fabulous week. Fung and Shway. The weather's breaking, boats in the water, things coming up.
Pollen.
Oh, pollen.
It's everywhere.
Yep. There we go.
Terrible.
Can we bottle that shit?
Oh man, I don't know.
The bees love it. All right. So I think the best way we found out to actually depart this event is to let Allie just take the lead.
Yeah.
So Allie,
Get us out of here, Al.
it's up to you, Allie. There we go.
All right. Thank you, Fung and Shway audiences. This has been another wonderful episode. We will see you later.
See ya.
You've been listening to the Fung and Shway podcast. Stay tuned for new episodes every week.